Fox News alert on the Democrats' growing push to win new support for gun control laws and an assault weapons ban. Welcome to America Live, everyone, on a Friday. I'm Megyn Kelly. We just received a video moments ago as Democrats take the next step in a national campaign to help blunt the political power of the gun lobby. Vice President Joe Biden dispatched to Virginia today, where he went to the Virginia Tech campus to try to rally support for the administration's proposals. Perhaps more significant, Chicago's mayor, former chief of staff to President Obama, Rahm Emanuel, is now trying to pressure private banks into not doing business with gun manufacturers. He wants them to cut off credit lines to firearm companies that don't get on board with President Obama's gun control measures. Chris Direwalt is our Fox News digital politics editor and host of Power Play on FoxNews.com. Let's start with Mayor Emanuel. Wow. What right does he, as a public official, he's not a private citizen now, as a public official, have to go in and try to strong-arm private banks into not doing business with law-abiding American companies with whose agenda Mr. Emanuel just happens to disagree?
Well, look, from the point of view of those folks who are interested in pushing a gun ban, what wouldn't you do to save a life? If guns are the cause of the problem and are killing people, what wouldn't you do to save a life? And if that includes arm twisting in a very Chicago-like fashion, I might point out, of some financial institutions, that would not give you any pause. And in fact, I'm sure that Mayor Emanuel would like to see his old boss, President Obama, try something similar on the national level using regulatory bodies like, oh, I don't know, the Department of the Treasury and others to put the squeeze on lending institutions.
I mean, have we had any reaction from Bank of America, or it's Bank of America and TD Bank who are, being told by the mayor, just don't do business with them. Just cut them off. Cut off their lines of credit until they get on board with me and my pal, the president.
I think other than probably an audible gulp, we haven't heard anything yet. I don't know if we will. But look, the truth here is, and this is...
But let me just stop you.
Yeah.
Hold on to the truth is here sentence, because I do want to hear it. I want to know the truth. But how far could Rahm Emanuel take this? Okay, so let's say he goes to Bank of America and says, don't do business with a single Republican, or Democrat for that matter, because there are Democrats who are against this gun push. Don't do business with don't allow them to have a mortgage. Don't allow them to have an account with you until they all get on board and support the president's agenda. And for that matter, don't do business with anybody who doesn't support President Obama on anything. If you have a pro-lifer, if you have a company like Chick-fil-A, whatever it is, don't do business with them. Anybody who disagrees with us, we're going to put the pressure on you, Bank of America, if you let them have any sort of account or line of credit with you.
Well, they already did it to Chick-fil-A. That already happened in Chicago with Chick-fil-A, where they wanted to come and sell their very delicious fried chicken sandwiches. The mayor in the city of Chicago said, we don't want you here because you are intolerant of same-sex marriage and so on and so forth. And Chick-fil-A had to, here's that word again, crawfish. They had to go back again and say, what we really were talking about there, and we're sorry and we're inclusive. And they had to do what the mayor, Emanuel, wanted them to do in order to do business in Chicago. So they've already been there.
I don't know
That's
whether
one
this
place
is legal.
they've been.
I don't know whether this is legal, because the Second Amendment is a constitutional right. It's in the Bill of Rights. And to penalize somebody for exercising that right, the gun manufacturers who are making perfectly lawful firearms as of today, to have a public official try to punish them and their business relationships, there is a real question about whether that is legal behavior by Rahm Emanuel, as there was a question about whether he was behaving legally when he did that stuff with Chick-fil-A. All right, but the truth is what?
that this isn't about mass shootings anymore. The truth is, and you see this from Mayor Emanuel today, you see this in the list of guns that were on the banned list from Senate Democrats yesterday, that, by the way, didn't include what was involved in Sandy Hook, or as much of what was involved in Sandy Hook. This is an ambition to deal with guns as it relates to street crime, urban violence, these things in the drug trade, the same kind of stuff that we were talking about in the 1990s. This is the resumption of a drive by people like Emanuel and Joe Biden and Attorney General Eric Holder, who were part of it back in the day, to revive what they failed to accomplish in the 1990s. these are not about addressing, Rahm Emanuel is not talking about mass shootings. He's using the energy surrounding mass shootings to try to do what Democrats have wanted to do for a long time, which is impose a fairly strict gun ban, or at least make it very hard or very expensive to get a gun.
They don't admit that publicly. I mean, yesterday we heard from the two Democratic Connecticut senators, Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy, saying that this gun ban that they are pushing for now on the federal level would have prevented Newtown or prevented some of the carnage in Newtown, saying that these guns that were used in Newtown would now be banned under the legislation they are pushing. Listen to Chris Murphy yesterday.
Kids would be alive today in Newtown, Connecticut, if the law that we're proposing today were in place on December 14th of last year. It's as simple as that.
Now, what evidence is there of that exactly, Chris?
None that I'm aware of. Now, what proponents of the gun ban say is that if shooters did not have as many bullets, if they had smaller magazines, that it would take them longer and they would be subdued before they could do as much damage, before they could kill as many people. There may be truth in that. We don't know. We simply don't know exactly what happened. We haven't really heard. We don't know whether that would have been a factor.
Well, we know that the shooter in Newtown had a 30 round magazine. That's what he was using, and that would be banned under Senator Dianne Feinstein's proposal. He did, we understand, most of the killing with an AR-15. That would not necessarily be banned, but the ammunition would, and he had two semi-automatic handguns, which would not be banned either.
Right. It's the pistols that we see time and time again, that it's the pistols that are really, in these mass killings, really the problem. But they're not addressed in what's being discussed, those guns.
Chris, thank you for being here.